Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss a very controversial topic: why men should never cry. Now, let me tell you why I decided to put out this topic and go into it extremely deep. You see, about 6 weeks ago, I put out a post called The Emperor of Gal Clown. You can look it up if you like. The Emperor of Gal Clown. And I was referring to Will Smith and what that incident that happened at the Oscars. And the reason why I called him a gal clown, well, I don't want to go into all of that because the post is there. You know, it's called The Emperor of Gal Clown. But one of the things I mentioned was that I said he is a real kitten. And I didn't use the word kitten. I used the other P word, but I referred to him as that. And I said the reason for that was that he was crying. And men should not cry. Now, one of my fans read the post, a personal friend of mine. And upon reading the post, she called me. Want to know how comes I managed to, or how can I be saying that men should not cry? Men are human, men should cry, men should show their emotions, and it is only strong men that show their emotions. And she went on and on. She was really like very strident in her position that I am wrong and I should never say that men should not cry, you know? And I said, I know there are a lot of women out there who feel this way. And I really think that I need to voice it in its entirety to show the reason why I hold the position and will always continue to hold the position that men should not cry. And to go into it, let me start by saying, have anybody here seen Full Metal Jacket? The movie Full Metal Jacket. Believe me, for anybody listening to my post who have never seen Full Metal Jacket, please look it up and watch it. It's one of the most beautiful movies ever made. I think it came out in the late 80s, early 90s. Anyway, in this movie, there was a drill sergeant. I don't remember his name, but it was played like this by this guy, Lee Emery something. Lee Emery, whatever. Anyway, that guy, he was a tough, hard as rock drill sergeant. And he drilled his boys to turn them into Marines. Now, what happened is that, now suppose this man trying to make soldiers whip them into shape in about 4 or 5 months. Suppose they had seen him watching the movie Titanic and he was bawling his eyes out. You know, when you see the two girls, the guy in the water and the lady, and who holding on to the little boat and telling him, or the piece of raft, and telling him how she love him and all of that. And can you imagine this man, bawling his eyes out or sobbing and, wailing? Come on. Do you think that how do you think he would look when he go back into that barrack room at 5 a.m. holding a button, pushing it into a tin can at 5 a.m. and rattling up these soldiers and roughing them up? And they know that he was a little, kitten, when he was watching some little movie or something. I mean, it takes the sheen off his leadership. So the point is, men should not cry because men are leaders. Men are supposed to be strong. Men are supposed to be physically strong. Men are physically strong than women. Men are taller, stronger, have a larger brain. They have thicker muscles. I mean, they have testosterone. I mean, they're more aggressive. I mean, basically everything. The male is the gender that is cut out for leadership automatically by nature. I hold that position. And this is not bigotry, sexual bigotry, or gender bigotry. This is just joining the dots, connecting the dots, and adding 1 plus 1 equal 2. Yeah? So, anyway, now when you are in a position of leadership, when you're in a position of leadership where people are depending on you for protection, you cannot be a person who is protecting others, who people are looking up to for moral guidance, for support, and you are the one who is going to galvanize their strength and their values and get them riled up to help you to defend them. How can you be showing weakness? How can you be showing that you cannot control your emotions? Inability to control your emotions is a sign of weakness. That is a sign of weakness. You cannot handle your emotions. You become overwhelmed by what's going on around you. You cry. When you're in, crying is a display of despair, hopelessness, pain, anguish, and gloom. Now, if you are feeling that and you are expressing that by virtually giving up, by crying, yeah? How are the people who are depending on you for guidance and protection must take that? Now, I give you a case. I give you a case. Do you remember when Winston Churchill was to be invaded by Adolf Hitler in World War I? What did he do? He never cried. He stood up. He stood up. And he went into the House of Parliament and he said, I will fight them on the beach. I will fight them in the air. I will fight them in the sea. I will fight them on land. I will fight. And he made a very fiery speech as a man. And what? He galvanized his people to strength after strength after strength. And he put his anger, instead of expressing despair and hopelessness and the pain that he was feeling, he channeled it into aggression, and he defended his nation, Britain. That's what makes Winston Churchill the leader that he is. Now, can you imagine Winston Churchill had gone in there and shed eye water? Really? Come on. All right, let me give you a situation, right? And this is a contrary situation. Who remember the 1982 invasion of the Falkland by the Argentinians? Argentina invaded the Falklands in about March of 1982, right? And within days, about 2 days after he sent his men there, you know what he did? He went into the palace, the seat of the government, and he put about 4 or 5 generals around him. And Leopoldo Galtieri, he cried when he was trying to galvanize his country, his fellow countrymen, into a cohesive force to fight Britain, because Maggie Thatcher had troops sending down to Argentina to take back the Falkland Islands, right? And this man was up there bawling to his nation and trying to galvanize them into one cohesive and formidable fighting force. Can you imagine? Guess what happened? Within 2 weeks, the Argentinians threw down their arms. Britain won. And it's not like Argentina did not have a formidable military. Argentina at the time had a formidable military. As a matter of fact, they had a super weapon that Britain did not have. They had Exocet missiles that they got from France. And that could just came across the sea and hit anything that Britain had, and they never made use of the Exocet missiles that they had. That was the most cutting edge missile technology in existence at the time. And not even that they could use. They had planes, they had F4s, Phantoms, and they had other planes. And the only type of plane I remember Britain sending down there were the virtual takeoff and landing plane, Harrier jump jets, right? And what? One aircraft carrier, about two cruisers, and some helicopters, and Britain took back the Falklands from a country that have over several 100,000 in its military, right? Why do you think that happened? Because this man, Baal, you can't cry in front of people and then try to lead them, because even though you may have formidable strength, whether it's physical strength in your body or physical strength in terms of arms, if you haven't got the will, if you can't show strength of character, you cannot lead. You will not be able to lead. Now, let's take the common man. The common man. You are running. You have a family, and you have to lead. You are automatically, and I say this, and I do not. I say this without fear of contradiction. Well, I won't say it without fear of contradiction, because there are people out there who will try to contradict me, but you will not win, because there is no evidence that you can bring to support any contrary statement. Men are naturally in charge of his household. He's taller, he's stronger, he's more aggressive, he's more decisive. He has all the qualities to head his household. And that's why men are the head of their households. Well, real men, I'm talking about real men here. Yeah? So basically, no. And if this man is supposed to protect his family, because let's just face it, if it's a case where the wife is upstairs in their bed and she hear rustling downstairs, the wife not getting up, go down there. She's sending her husband. It's a man who have to go down there, hold the broom or the rake or his gun, and go down there and see if there's a burglar in the house. She hear any rustling outside, outdoors or out the window or anything, she's running to her man for protection. So the one who you run to for protection, you run to for moral support and guidance, isn't he the natural leader? I rest my case. So as a leader, now, how can you show the fortitude? How can you show fear and gloom and hopelessness and despair, which are the things that are expressed when you cry? When you're crying, it's a sign of weakness. And how can you, as a man, be expressing weakness and still lead your household? How you cry and still lead your house? Let me tell you, men, you see, when you cry, a lot of women will out there, and they will tell us, say, listen, man, go ahead and cry, because you're human and you must show your emotions, and you hurt as much as women. I agree. Men hurt as much as women. Let me make that quite clear. And I agree. Men deserves a good cry. But men simply can't afford to. Well, let me clarify that. Men cannot afford to cry openly. Is if me want to cry, if I feel like I need to take a good cry, you know what I would do? Strip myself naked, go under the shower, turn it on as heavy as it can go, lean up as the water running across my body. I shed my tears, and I buckle under my tears with the door locked in that bathroom. And then when it's over, I get out. And I come and I smile with the world, and I stand tall to protect my family. My kids not supposed to see me cry. My kids are running to me for protection. They don't want to serve a little sniveling little kitten as their daddy protecting them. They want to know that this man is not only in control of his strength, he must be also in control of his emotions. By the way, you guys know what Maggie Thatcher's nickname was? Margaret Thatcher, Britain's Prime Minister at the time of the Falklands War. You know what was her nickname? Well, I'll tell you. Her nickname was the Iron Lady. The Iron Lady. Now, tell me, if Margaret Thatcher had cried when she was sending off those ships, that expedition force down to retake the Falkland Islands halfway around the globe, do you think she could have ever been, she would have retained the title the Iron Lady? Nobody would call her the Iron Lady. She would lose that title immediately. But she was a strong woman and a real leader. She no ball. And Wolano, you see, Leopoldo Galtieri, who was the president of Argentina, as Argentina lost the war, what they do? The June, them kick him out the same month as Britain retake the Falklands, they kick him out. The lesson to be gained from that is nobody wants a sniveling little dipstick to rule them. Yeah? They might love you, they might adore you, and rub down your jaw and your head back and say coochie coochie coo, but they don't want you as a leader. And the same thing applies to the family. If you as a man are the head of your household, you can't ball. They might love you and say coochie coochie coo, but listen, the woman going to go out there and get a real man to really handle her, that side of her business, her intimate business, because you no longer can do that, because you're not man enough for that. You're man enough to cuddle with now. And your kids, oh my God, they look up to the mother now for comfort. Or they don't know the difference between the leadership of you or mother, or the mother. You overthrow yourself, man. You understand? So these are lessons to learn from. You no ball, don't do it, okay? So as for my lady, right? She wants a strong man. I mean, she's going to want somebody who is in touch with his emotions. And I know that she would want that. But at the same time, sometimes women can be a bit confused, because women will say one thing, but they because she is grown up to have these ideals that she's seen around her, that men should be soft and all of that. But believe me, if you ever dare take up on her cue that you're going to cry, you know what's going to happen? She stop open her leg as wide for you after that, because she wonder if you'll be able to protect her after that. And deep down, it is hotwired into women from birth, into their genetic makeup, to like formidable men, bad boys. That's what women go for. So she will actually tell you how much, he must be sensitive and he must be in touch with his emotions. But the minute you do that, it's not something that she's going to think of doing, but automatically she is going to lose that sense of attraction for you. It's just how women are, right? She's going to, because she's not going to feel that manliness again that she had felt before. She'd be feel quite nice, yes, that you cried. Yeah, she's going to feel nice. And she's going to baby you and all that and be proud of you and all that. But you will not tinkle her bells as you had before. Believe me, you won't tinkle her bells as much. As a matter of fact, you might be crying yourself out of first place. You understand me? So, don't do it. Don't do it. So, as I said before, let me clarify that again. If you are a man and you need to cry, lock yourself away and shed your tears on your own. It has been said, that it is an uncomfortable head that wears a crown. And That is true. You just cannot afford the luxury of crying. You just cannot afford it, even though it hurts. And believe me, we men hurt. We hurt. We do hurt. And we hurt just as hard and just as deep as any woman. We do hurt. And I'll say that. And I have been there and I've suffered the emotional pain. And even to this day, I am carrying emotional scars that I've carried for maybe up to 10, 20 years from past relationships. But what do? I didn't go run and ball like a little BEACH. No, I didn't. I held it in because I'm a man. It's just that I cannot afford the luxury of crying because that's a luxury. And if I want to maintain my position as a man in society and in the world, then I have to appear as a formidable force. And I can't be a formidable force. Okay, I look muscular and I look athletic and I look very strong and all of that. But the minute I buckle up and ball, my respect is gone. That formidability, that image, and it's all about image here. That image of strength and fortitude and decisiveness that had been there before, that luster will be lost. Yes, it will be no more. So as I said, as a natural born leader, and men are generally speaking, which is the norm. I'm not saying they're not exceptions to this rule, but the vast majority of men are in charge, naturally in charge, right? That's a role we play. And as a man, I say, because of that, if you want to be a sniveling little runt or something, then go ahead, cry your eyes out, sit on the back bench. You are somehow masochistic and you want your lady to be in charge. Okay, go ahead. But for a man who wants to maintain his position as head of his household, he cannot afford that. He cannot afford that. Because once he does that, there's just no coming back. There's no coming back for you. Because that woman, she may respect you for really crying, and believe me, she will admire you. But here is what. You won't get her panties wet anymore. You're not man enough anymore. Right? So remember that. So as I tell you, don't cry. You want to cry? I repeat, go in the shower, turn it on, run it as hard, make sure the door lock, and bawl your eyes out. Bawl like a BEACH. Bawl like a beach, yes. And when you're finished bawling like a little beach, then you can dry yourself off, come out, you've had a lovely shower, go about your business. Your reputation, your image is intact because it's all about image. It's all about showing strength, physical strength, strength of character, strength of the ability to control one's emotions is a strength. Women can't do that. Or women rarely can do that. Men can. We've always done. Keep it up. Continue. We're in charge. So that's basically what I have to get. And that's my position. Now, I want to say, guys, I welcome your comments. If you disagree with me, please write it in the comments. Let me know. Others, I really welcome knowing how other people feel about this. Yeah. Like my video, share. There are a lot more videos there to look at. And if you haven't seen the Gal Clown, Emperor of Gal Clown, I would like you go to take that video I made about Will Smith and his hitch slap, right? And share. And yes, I'll see you next time in my other videos. And thank you for watching.